APNvideo.com is on the air. It's championship day of the MSBL World Series as you get a look at Frank Phillips' Dallas-Fort Worth Phillies, and they're getting set to take on Alan Green and his Sonoma County Dragons, defending champions. We're in the 60 and over Central Division National Championship game. And I'm Jeff Lowry with APNvideo.com. Two great teams. The Phillies looking for yet another championship. The Dragons trying to defend their title from a year ago. We got a good pitching matchup here. Gregory Rodriguez, a left-hander for the Phillies, and Vic Villegas, as we had a chance to talk to yesterday's winning pitcher, Pete Cesario, in the semis. All right, we're with Pete Cesario, the complete game-winning pitcher in the semifinals yesterday to get the Dallas-Fort Worth Phillies into the championship game once again. Pete, congratulations on a great game, and yeah, you're playing some good baseball.
Oh, thanks. It's not just me, it's the whole team. I had some great defense yesterday, and we had some good hits. And I got lucky too on a couple of hits. So yeah, it's everyone's gelling together. Everyone's great teammates out here playing together, talking with each other and having fun, as well as being competitive for each of the games. So yeah, we're doing good. We got one more to go. This is the one we want most.
So I understand that you might be starting here today at catcher after pitching 9 innings yesterday.
Yeah, it's nothing. It's just routine for me. I caught the other day too. So yeah, I've been doing a lot of that, pitching and catching. So I pitched 5 innings in relief, and I started the game previous to that against the upper division team and shut them down for like 6 innings. And then they got a couple unearned runs off of me, and then I came out, and then another guy picked it up, and then we scored the runs to win that game against the mountain team. So yeah, we're like I said, the whole team is gelling together, doing well.
Now you're 64?
Yes, I just turned 64 in July, so still got a lot of youth left in me, I guess. When I'm playing at home, I'm playing in Long Beach City League, and it's 18 and over and metal bats. So yes, the competition, it gets really, really tough back there, but I've learned to pitch against the young guys, and they hate me when I'm pitching to them. So the competitiveness is tough there, so when coming in here, it's a lot easier for me to be a lot more competitive when I'm here in this division, especially my age group. So.
Well, we hope to have a good game here today from Hohokam Park, and we look forward to seeing you play once again in a championship.
Thank you, and we hope to win this game, so we'll do everything we can, especially me behind the plates. Hopefully you won't see the front of my jersey too much, just the back.
Fantastic, thank you. Well, there is Frank Phillips. He's the brain trust, along with brother Antone Henley. We had a chance to talk to the manager of the Phillies. Can you talk about your starting pitcher today?
Sure. Gregory Rodriguez is the starting pitcher, crafty left-hander. He's going to move the ball in and out, change his speeds really well. I think you're going to like his ability to change the game for us.
And where is he from?
He's from Puerto Rico.
Well, a special thanks to Pete Cesario. As you see, Frank Phillips on the left, Alan Green on the right. I've known Alan for many years, going back to the early days of APN and MSBL. They are out of the Sonoma County, California wine country. You're getting a look at Vic Villegas, the starting pitcher today here for the Sonoma County Dragons. They were formerly known as the Greenwood Ridge Dragons before Alan Green sold his vineyard a few years ago. So Angel Almo, one of the more talented shortstops that you will see maybe in age groups even 10, 15 years below, starts things off. And this 60 and over Central Division winner-take-all championship game is underway. It'll be Angel Almo, Bobby Graham, both former MVPs, playoff MVPs, either for the Phillies or for the Zephyrs. And then it'll be Robert Butlin, the second baseman. Strike 3 called, and this game is underway. One up and one down, and now Graham hits a routine pop-up to the first baseman, and Pat Carroll taking care of business. And just like that, the first two retired easily. And here is the third place hitter, Robert Butlin, who started at second base for the South Bay Zephyrs last week bunts this one third base side foul ball. Defensively, Carroll at first, Hughes at second, Kunst at short, Bradlin is at third base, Davenport in left. As Tom comes up with this one, the center fielder Yamada, Chase, Scott Cruz in right, and that's the end of the first half inning. 3 up, 3 down. Good inning for Vic Villegas after a half an inning of championship play. The Phillies nothing, and the Dragons coming up. Well, I don't know too many people who have won more championships than that man you just saw. Not our starting pitcher who is wearing someone else's jersey, but this is Gregory Rodriguez. You saw Wayne Williams. He has won over 20 national championships down here. He has enjoyed tremendous success. And so the Phillies failed to score in the top of the first inning, and now our first look at the Dragons. They'll send up Jim Yamada, the shortstop Tom Kunst, and second baseman John Hughes. And here's a ball hit down the third base line where Wayne Weinberger slips on what is somewhat of a wet turf here. And that's going to be a leadoff hit for Jim Yamada, and that's the first hit of the ball game. That'll bring up the shortstop Tom Kunst. Well, they'll keep a close eye on Yamada. He's got good wheels. He's the starting center fielder for this Sonoma County team. Here's a bunt, third base side. Weinberger's up with the ball. He throws wild to first. The runner is safe, and they will go first and third, and not a good start here for Frank Phillips' Dallas-Fort Worth Phillies. Nobody was covering second, and all hands are going to be safe. So, well, it was close whether or not Weinberger was going to throw him out or not, and they're going to rule that a base hit. So now the second baseman, John Hughes. First pitch, ball one. Defensively for Fort Worth, Paul Drake at first base, 6'5", Graham at second, Olmo at short, Weinberger at third, Rick Jacobson in left field, and Tone the franchise Henley in center. Billy Brewer's in right with Pete Cesario, yesterday's complete game winner. In the semifinals, raked out 3 hits, and Gregory Rodriguez out of Puerto Rico. Big, wide open stance. You don't see, I haven't seen anyone have this kind of a stance that far open since maybe Craig Counsell. He used to play here in Arizona. That's ball 4, and the first 3 have reached. So a couple of infield hits. Nothing hit hard, and now Mike Wilgus at the plate, and he's their big top RBI man. No score. We're in the bottom of the first inning, 60 and over. Winner take all. One-game championship. Well, Pete having a tough time holding on to that ball. Good pitch that time by Gregory Rodriguez. So the bases are loaded, nobody out. We're in the bottom of the first, and this one is fouled back and out of play, and Rodriguez, I mean, his fastball gets up on you kind of quickly. And a breaking ball, foul, third base side. 2 strikes on the cleanup hitter for the Sonoma County Dragons. And he drills one down the right field line. It's going to get down. I'll score at least 1. A good job over there by Brewer to get the ball back in quickly. And it's an RBI hit. The bases remain loaded. Yamada scores from third. Mike Wilgus, an RBI single, and the Dragons lead it 1-0 as they draw first blood in this 60 and over Central Division National Championship game. Now the catcher, Mark Adams. Right now, Dallas-Fort Worth needs an out. And here's a fly ball to left field. That ball is going to drop in, and it's on the line. That's a fair ball. And now, somehow, Rick Jacobson held on to the ball, and he throws it wild, and 2 runs are going to score. It's an RBI hit for Adams. And it's now 3-0 in favor of the Sonoma County Dragons, and now Gary Nelson, the 6th place hitter in the lineup, stepping in. That'll be charged and air to the left fielder. Here's a ground ball to Olmo. His only play is to first, and Drake can't handle it. It gets by. That is another error. And another run is in, and all of a sudden this game is starting to feel, and this is a great idea, Wayne Williams getting out there, just calming everybody down. This is starting to remind me of the Blue Jays Zephyr game. The error in left field by Jacobson, and then the error, I don't know if it was an error on Drake or the throw. The throw was a little wide. But 4 runs have come across, still 2 men on, still nobody out, and the batter is Dale Skinner. Seventh batter to come to the plate here. And they picked him off at first base, and boy, oh boy, did Dallas-Fort Worth need that. That was a nice move there by Gregory Rodriguez. And this one skips away. That'll be a pass ball. And the runner will score, and it's now 5-0. Popped up. Pete, I'll tell you, that's a tough catch. That's a tough play for even a major leaguer, and that's ball 4 in this inning. So we got 2 errors, a pass ball. Still only 1 out. And the batter, the 8th batter to face Gregory Rodriguez here in the inning, is Terry Fail. 5-0 Dragons, and they are looking awfully good. Of course, there's still a lot of baseball left. We're only in the bottom of the first inning. Chopper to the shortstop. Angel almost there. He'll go to Bobby Graham for 1. On to first, inning double play. 6-4-3, and at the end of 1, 5-0 Dragons. Well, we go to the top half of inning number 2. Jeff Lowry and Paul Drake bringing you the action. The second inning of work for Vic Villegas. And here's a line shot out into center field, and it's over the head of Yamada, and Paul Drake heads into second base, and he's got a leadoff double. So you get the 6-4-3 double play to end that 5-run first. The defense of the Dallas-Fort Worth Phillies, and then Drake comes out and drills a double over the head of the center fielder, and a good start right now. That'll bring up Bob Riley. A swing and a foul that got a piece of the catcher, Mark Adams. 5-0 Dragons as the Phillies bat here in the top of the second inning. Well, if you're Frank Phillips and Tone Henley over there on the bench, you're just hoping that you can at least counter and get at least 1 run. I always say that when you get down or you give up a big inning, you just almost have to come back and get something. Here's a chopper to the left side where the third baseman fields, and he's up and throwing. The first baseman's foot looked like it might have been off the bag. That holds the runner at second base with 1 out, and here's Chris Means, who we'll probably see in left field sometime today. Villegas' first pitch is in there for a called strike, and it's 0-1 with Rick Jacobson, the starting left fielder, on deck. That's high. 1 ball, 1 strike. And that's taken under the knees. 2 balls, 1 strike to Chris Means. When this guy's going good, he's usually hitting at the right center field, left center field, back up the middle. He takes 2 high. That is usually an MSBL strike right there, but it was a little high, and it's 3 balls and 1 strike. You'll take them any way you can when you're down by 5, top of the second. Phillies at the plate, and a shot out in the center field, base hit. Yamada quickly gets it back into his shortstop. First and third occupied as Chris Means comes through with a 1-out single, and now Rick Jacobson. 2 balls and no strikes. 4 of the last 5 out of the strike zone, not counting the swing and a base hit. That's a strike, 2-1. Wayne Weinberger, the third baseman, is on deck. The pitch, swing and a miss, and Jacobson coming up empty-handed on a good sinking fastball. 2 balls, 2 strikes. 5-0 Dragons in the field in the all-white, and strike 3 called. Jacobson can't believe it. That is the second strikeout of the ball game for Vic Villegas. 2 down in the inning, and here's third baseman Wayne Weinberger. First and third occupied with now 2 men out, and he takes the first pitch, high, ball 1. Well, Villegas was cruising through the first inning, but he's had, I guess you would call, control issues, especially on the first pitch. He's been getting behind in the count. First and third, 2 out the pitch, and a good change up there, a called strike, and that evens the count on the third baseman, Wayne Weinberger, 1-1. Strike 2 called. That ball looked like it might have been in the other batter's box. Here's the 1-2 pitch to Weinberger, and he swings and grounds one into left field, a base hit. And the Phillies are on the board. It's 5-1 as Drake scores from third. RBI single for Wayne Weinberger, and the batter is the right fielder, Billy Brewer, who skies one foul, and that's going to be out of play, 0-1.
And that is the Flowing Wells, right?
Here's a swing and a miss, and a quick throw down to first, and the runner Wayne Weinberger back in safely. So you got runners at first and second, a run in. It is now 5-1 in favor of the Dragons, who put 5 runs up on the first inning against Gregory Rodriguez. Brewer, and hoping that Cesario will be able to get up there. He's been red hot at the plate. Billy Brewer, a very good defensive right fielder for this team, and he's hoping to keep this inning alive. 2 outs, and the 2-strike pitch, that looked pretty good, and it's 3 balls and 2 strikes. Here's the payoff with the runners going. Here's a chopper to the shortstop. His only play is at first, and they got him. Well, a nice tag down there by Pat Carroll to retire the side. So we head now to the bottom half of inning number 2, and the Dragons lead now cut from 5-4 after the RBI hit by Weinberger, and that was an outstanding play by Tom Kuntz to retire the side. So we go to the bottom half of inning number 2. 5-1 Sonoma County. It'll be Johansson, Davenport, and Yamada unless Alan Green decides to add someone to the bottom of the order. Good pitch, good breaking ball, swung on and missed, and Cesario throws on to first base. That is the first strikeout of the contest for Gregory Rodriguez, and the batter is going to be the left fielder, Don Davenport. Sonoma County got RBI hits as this one's bounced to Graham, and he's the guy to hit it to. 2 down. And we go back to the top of the order, and center fielder Jim Yamada. Steve Perkovich is loosening up for Frank Phillips and his Dallas-Fort Worth Phillies. The Dragons got RBI hits by Mike Wilgus, Mark Adams, two of the 5 runs earned. And Yamato with a fly ball down the left side, but that's going to drop foul and out of play. 2 out, nobody on. And here is a big Baltimore chop ground ball down to Weinberger. He makes a fine play. He throws him out at first to retire the side. So we are heading to the third. The Dragons 5, the Phillies 1. All right, we're back here at Camp Park in Mesa. Jeff Lowry, and this is Pete Cesario at the plate. Called strike. Boy, he's been red hot. Fly ball foul, and it's no balls and 2 strikes on Pete Cesario. He'll be followed by Antone Henley, and we'll go back to the top of the Phillies lineup in Angel Olmo. 1-2. Strike 3 called. Pete can't believe it. Out number 1. 3 strikeouts now for Vic Villegas, the starting pitcher for Sonoma. Now Antone Henley. Antone takes high, ball 1. One of the heart and souls of this team. He's co-manager with Frank Phillips, so this is Frank's team. He owns the South Bay Zephyrs. team that's won 4 national titles since 2010. Between the two brothers, Phillips and Antone Henley, and yes, they have different names, and that's a different story, but, I mean, you're probably talking well over 20 altogether, or right around 20. Frank has won 10, and I think Antone is probably somewhere in that ballpark. Here's the pitch. Taken low for a ball. Good eye that time by Antone Henley, and he's a very good center fielder. We're in the 60 and over Central winner-take-all national championship game. Villegas delivers, and this ball is hammered down the right field line. That's a base hit for Antone Henley. Hit number 4 for the Phils. Both teams now with 4 hits, and the batter is Angel Olmo. Angel struck out, caught looking back in the first inning. We're in the top of the third. Phillies got Antone Henley at first base with 1 out. Angel Olmo at the plate. Dragons got 5 runs in the first. Tough breaking pitch, and Villegas got the strike call. Popped him up, and this could be trouble. It's probably going to be a foul ball, and it drops in safely. Brandlin tried to give chase. Here's the pitch. Runner goes. Here's a ball slapped to the shortstop. He fumbled it. That's an error. I don't know if he throws Angel out or not. I think we're going to have to give that a base hit. Well, no, he should have had the fielder's choice at second, but the runner was going, so give Angel Olmo a base hit, absolutely. I don't think he throws him out. Talking to Mike Galato up there, he said that he's the one that brought it up, so he says that's got to go as a base hit. I don't think he would have thrown him out. So Bobby Graham looking for his first hit. Good fastball that time. Graham thought it was a little high. First and second with 1 out. We're in the top of the third. Phillies batting, needing 4 to tie. And a little makeup pitch there. That was a nice-looking pitch by Vic Villegas. He checks the runners, he pitches, and it's fouled down the right side and out of play. Jeff Lowry with you with APNvideo.com. Special thanks to Antone Henley for setting up today's broadcast. And Bobby Graham, a pitch away from drawing a walk, and that is strike 3 called. And Bobby Graham's going to have a few words with the inconsistency of this strike zone behind home plate.
Number 31, Robert Butler.
It did look like a good pitch, but I think Bobby had a better view of it. So that's going to bring up Robert Butlin, who is 0 for 1. So 2 on with 2 out. And a drive down the line. Butlin, the starting second baseman on the finals team for the Zephyrs last week. Here's a rocket off the glove. Picked up by the second baseman. They get the inning-ending fielder's choice. That'll go 1 to 4 to 6, and we have played 2.5. It's still the Dragons 5 and the Phillies 1 from Hohokam. Dragons batting for the 3rd time here, and a 2-ball no-strike count to leadoff hitter and shortstop Tom Kuntz, followed by Hughes and Wilgus. 5-1 Dragons here. Tom had a single and a run scored in the 5-run first for the wine people. Sonoma County, notorious for wine, and a fly ball to Jacobson, and he battles that high sky and that sun, easily recording the out. And here's John Hughes, who walked and scored to make it 3-0. Came in on an RBI hit by Mark Adams, I believe it was, after the error. We were talking about John's wide open stance. You really don't see that at the major league level. Not too many guys comfortable going that wide. I know Brian Downing did a little bit. Here's a chopper back up the middle. That's going to find center field and find Antone Henley. So a one-out single by Hughes. Hit number 5 after Rodriguez had set down 4 in a row, make that 5 in a row. And the first pitch to cleanup hitter Mike Wilgus, who had an RBI single as he went down the right field line. He's 1 for 1. Still got activity in the bullpen. Steve Perkovich throwing for the Phillies. There goes the runner. Nope, he bluffed and then went back to first. Pete Cesario's got a good arm behind home plate. Bouncing ball, foul ball past Weinberger. Home half of the 3rd inning. Dragons in really good shape right now. They've got the momentum, and Villegas, their starting pitcher, looking good on the mound. Rodriguez ready. And a chopper down the 3rd. Weinberger on the short hop. Goes second one. Double play for the Dallas-Fort Worth Phillies. That goes 5-4-3. Side retired. And at the end of 3 innings of play, it's still the Dragons 5 and the Phillies nothing, or the Phillies 1. This is the MSBL World Series on APN. Paul Drake had a long double and scored the only run so far in this game for the Phillies. It'll be the 4, 5, and 6 hitters for Frank Phillips' team. Drake, Riley, and Means. Here's a ground ball, and that's a base hit, and Drake is 2 for 2. Hit number 6 for Dallas-Fort Worth. They have actually out-hit as you get a look at the manager, Frank Phillips. We used to call him the Big Hurt. Big Hurtin is what I used to call him. Grounded to short. They'll go second one, and this will be no chance. Riley, good legs. Gets down the line. And now they got one of the true nightmares on the mound. Stan Holloway starting to warm up down there, and boy, he can bring it. All right, here's my good buddy Dan Gutierrez. He's batting in an AB position with Chris Means, left-handed hitter. Good, solid hitter right here. Riley takes his lead at first with 1 out. We're in the top of the 4th inning. Phillies at the plate. Both teams in their all-white uniforms here today. You don't see that very often. And Dan choking up, and he takes outside a ball. Dan, I'll tell you, this is a guy, I mean, he's always around the game. I think he's played 3 or 4 weeks now down here. Here's the pitch. I think he played some NABA. He takes high ball 4, and so you got 2 on with 1 out, and the batter, as Chris Means follows him down there as a courtesy runner, is going to be Rick Jacobson, the left fielder. Jake takes the first pitch. Called strike, 0-1. He was called out on strikes. In fact, all 4 strikeouts by Vic Villegas have been caught looking. The Dragons in the field lead by 4. We're in the top of the 4th inning. That's a strike, and quickly 0-2 on Rick Jacobson. Dallas-Fort Worth won in this division 2 years ago. Bouncing ball to the right side, and they will go to second and get the fielder's choice there. So Jacobson is aboard. Well, you got a little speed out there now. 1st and 3rd occupied, and they're going to need a 2-out hit by Weinberger, who drove in the only run of the game with a 2-out single back in the 2nd. And he goes opposite field and dumps one in there. He's done it again. An RBI single for Wayne Weinberger, and the lead is cut to 3. That's a great piece of hitting. He just laid the barrel of the bat down and dumped it into right field. And now the batter is going to be Billy Brewer. No balls and 1 strike. Brewer 0 for 1. And he romps one up the middle, base hit. Here comes Yamada. He'll quickly get the throw back in. Here comes a throw to the plate. It comes all the way through. Jake scores. And we got a new ball game, folks, as the Phillies pull to within 2 at 5-3. Back-to-back 2-out RBI clutch hits by Weinberger and Brewer. Weinberger and Brewer, that sounds like a great sports bar. A little brew with your Weinberger. There is a Weinberger, believe it or not, there is a bar here in Phoenix called the Weinberger. And we used to go down there all the time. They had the best hamburgers, by the way. Now Pete Cesario. That's a swing and a miss that I thought Pete had a good cut on that one. 8 hits in total. Pete was caught looking back in the second inning on a borderline pitch. And here's a rocket into right center field, base hit. That's going to plate another run. And the Phillies have erupted for 3 runs here in the top of the 4th inning. They have pulled to within 1 at 5-4. 3 straight clutch 2-out singles. Weinberger, Brewer, and Cesario. And now Antone Henley at the plate. Antone had a line drive base hit his last time up, and he pops this one up, and the pitcher, Vic Villegas, got it, but he gives up 3 runs in the top of the 4th. It's a new ball game in this 60 and over winner-take-all Central Championship. Well, that's the biggest fan that the Dallas-Fort Worth Phillies will ever have. She has been cheering them on since the first pitch. We go to the bottom half of the 4th inning, a new ball game. As Dallas-Fort Worth scored 3 times in the top of the 4th, we go to the bottom half of the 4th inning. Sonoma County coming to the plate, and they now lead 5-4. Mark Adams to start things off. He takes a strike 3 called on a pitch that did look kind of outside, but the Phils will take it. So Mark Adams down on strikes, and here's Gary Nelson, who reached on an error back in that 5-run first. 5-4 Dragons, they bat here in the bottom of the 4th inning, and here's a ground ball deep in the hole, almost got it. He's going to come up throwing anyway, and the low throw really handcuffed Drake. That's going to be an infield hit. Hit number 6 for the Sonoma County Dragons. That will bring Dale Skinner to the plate for the 2nd time. High fly ball, shallow center, Antone Henley coming on, and he's got it. And trying to do a little Houdini act out there in center field, but instead throws it over to Bobby Graham, and there's 2 down. Special thanks to Antone. We've done a lot of these games. We've cried together. We've actually had some laughters together, and this one's popped up, and Gregory will have to take it himself. He's got it to retire the side. Boy, he's really settled down after the team struggled in the 1st, and we go to the 5th. It's a 1-run lead for Sonoma County. Top of the 5th coming up. Frank Phillips and his team trails 5-4. Jeff Lowry back here from the ballpark as we head now to the top of the 5th inning. 5-4 Sonoma County back in the field, and back on the mound is their starting pitcher, Vic Villegas. As we go back to the top of the order, Angel Olmo, who has struck out and singled in 2 tries. He'll be followed by Bobby Graham and Robert Butlin. Nine hits in total so far for the Dallas-Fort Worth Phillies. 4 runs on 9 hits, while Sonoma has 5 runs on just 6 hits. Top of the 5th. Phillies at the plate trailing by 1, and they get the leadoff man aboard with a walk. That'll bring up Bobby Graham, who's looking for his first hit of the game. Ball 1 to Graham. And too high. 2 balls, no strikes. In there for a called strike. That evens the count at 2 balls and 2 strikes on former MVP of the playoffs. He skies this one in the left field, and a long run, and he drops the ball. The left fielder, Davenport, drops the ball. That'll be an error on the left fielder, and the tying run is aboard for Robert Butlin, who is bunting on it with 1 out, and the throw is in time. He'll go for a sack. Not sure if he was bunting to sacrifice. All right, well, I'm sorry. He was bunting. There was nobody out. So runners are at second and third, and that was I think that's the smart thing, because now you got red-hot Paul Drake coming up. Alan Green, wonderful gentleman. Like I said, I've known Alan for a long time. They're going to go ahead and intentionally walk Drake and set up a double play with Bob Riley, who takes the first pitch, ball 1. That's a strike. And it's always good to know the owner of a vineyard, because you get a good deal on wine, and he had some pretty good wine. I remember from, I think, maybe 2006, 2007, we would go up there and do the games that were played at San Francisco's home park, the Giants' home park, AT&T, and Alan Green and some of these guys were participating in those, and, well, that was a lot of fun back then. That's a strike called. Riley thought that was ball 4. The bases are loaded with 1 out. Tying run at third, and believe it or not, the Phillies have the go-ahead run at second base in scoring position with Bobby Graham. Here's the pitch. Slap to the right side, base hit Riley. 1 run is in. That ties the game up. Here comes the runner home, and Graham, and he will score, and the Phillies take a 6-5 lead. What a clutch hit with 1 out, a 2-run opposite field ground ball single by Bob Riley, 6-5 Phillies. And that is all for Vic Villegas. He's going to go 4 1/3. He faces 5 here in the 5th inning, and now they're bringing in their big gun, former football player Stan Holloway. A great matchup here with Gutierrez. And Dan bunts one, and he's going to move up the runners. 2nd and 3rd. Okay, now, not sure. Maybe that's out of respect out of Stan Holloway. I'm sorry, Stan Holloway. And now the batter is going to be Rick Jacobson, who's struck out and reached on a fielder's choice and scored a run in the 4th. So 2 runs are in, 2nd and 3rd occupied. Phillies lead it 6-5 here in the top of the 5th inning. Hard thrower. I'll tell you, this guy still looks like he could still play some football, as that one bounced back to the mound 1-3. But the Phillies take the lead for the first time in this game as we go to the home half of the 5th inning. And this is the 5th inning of work for Gregory Rodriguez, going up against Don Johansson, and he gets ahead of him. 2 balls and no balls and 2 strikes. Here's a bouncing ball to the right side. Graham's got it, and he throws on the first to retire Johansson. Now Don Davenport, 1 down. 5 of the last 6 now retired by Gregory Rodriguez. Phillies took the lead. Here's a ground ball, base hit center field. I spoke too soon. Hit number 7 for the Dragons. We go back to the top of the order, and center fielder Jimmy Yamada. He singled and scored in the 5-run first, but the Dragons have not scored since then, and that's in there for a strike. And I think the home plate umpire thought Yamada offered at that pitch. 0-1 the count. And this one slapped the third. Weinberger's got it. And the throw across in time. And they get the big out, even though Davenport moves up into scoring position, representing the tying run. So a nice job by Wayne down at the hot corner against the defending champion, the Sonoma County Dragons. Now the shortstop, Tom Kuntz. Time now for our trivia question inning. As this one slapped down the third base line. In 1973, the Atlanta Braves became the first major league team in baseball history to post 3 players with 40 or more home runs in a season. Can you name them? The 3 players were the Atlanta Braves that had at least 40 home runs in that 1973 season. First team ever to do it. Can you name the 3 players? Here's a ball slapped to the right side. Graham over. That's going to be a tough play, and he's not going to get him. A little too much speed right there. That will extend the inning for John Hughes. Infield hit number 8. Called strike, 0-1. Hughes has walked, he has singled in 2 times. 6-5 Phillies, bottom of the 5th, winner take all. 60 age group and over, national championship game. Runner goes, and here's a ball down the line, base hit. Nice job by Brewer to cut it off, but the tying run is going to score. 6-6 tie here in the home half of the 3rd inning. On an RBI hit, the 2nd hit in a row for John Hughes, and now Wilgus, who had an RBI single back in the 1st inning, and he takes a strike. He singled and scored, drove in a run in the 1st, hit into a 5-4-3 inning-ending double play back in the 3rd. We're tied at 6 here in the bottom half of inning number 5. In the air, center field, Antone Henley. He's got it. And that will take care of Sonoma County in the 5th. We head to the 6th inning. This is APN's coverage of the 31st Annual MSBL World Series. So we go to the top of the 6th inning. Dallas-Fort Worth Phillies back at the plate against Stan Holloway. Weinberger at the plate. He has had 2 2-out RBI singles. He's 2 for 2 at the plate, a run scored, 2 RBIs, and he's made some great plays down there at 3rd, and he bloops one to the 2nd baseman, and he'll make the running catch. Nice job by John Hughes, 1 down. Now the right fielder, Brewer, he also had a 2-out RBI single back in the 3-run 4th for the Phillies. We're in the top of the 6th inning, 6-6 tie. Phillies at the plate representing the visiting team. So Brewer at the plate, 1 for 2, RBI single again back in the 4th inning. We were told that this delivery by Stan Holloway, it's not because of an injury or it's just he's had this kind of herky-jerky kind of delivery even back when he played college baseball. Here's a shot, and that's going to drop in for a base hit. And Bill Brewer, representing the go-ahead run here for the Dallas-Fort Worth Phillies, and the batter is Pete Cesario. Pete has struck out. He has an RBI hit with Antone Henley on deck. 1-out runner at 1st and a 6-6 tie. Pete with one of the 11 Dallas-Fort Worth base hits in this championship game. He's got another one. He drills that one into right field. Now they're coming up, throwing to 1st, and it's not going to be in time. Pete Cesario with his 2nd base hit. And now a chance for Antone Henley to give his Phillies what could be their 2nd lead of the contest. So 1st and 2nd occupied with 1 out. We're in the top of the 6th. Phillies trying to push across the run that would give them their 2nd lead of the game. Antone is singled, a line drive single down the right field line. He's popped out. 1 ball and 1 strike. Stan Hollowell in his second inning of work, as this one is chopped to the first baseman, and Stan could not beat Antone to the bag. That's an infield hit, and the bases are loaded. And I'll tell you, Antone's playing with a sore knee, a left knee, and I'll tell you, he got down the line quickly, out racing maybe the best athlete on the field, maybe the best athlete in this 60 Central. So we go back to the top of the order. Angel Almo struck out, singled, walked, and scored. Swing and a miss. Good fastball there. There's a good look at Stan Holloway, the pitch. Ow, he hit him. I think that ball might have gotten him on the forearm. It did not hit him in the head. He's going to be all right, except he's going to be in a lot of pain. He's going to have a big knot. And I think it hit him right on the left, right below the elbow. Well, no, it's right on the elbow. And that's going to force in the go-ahead run, and it's now 7-6. So credit Angel with an RBI. He's been on base 3 of the 4 times. Here's Bobby Graham taking a strike, looking for his first hit. So Brewer scores. Runners are at third, second, and first. Cesario, Henley, and Olmo. That's outside. 1 ball, 1 strike to Bobby. He chops one to the right side. The second baseman, they'll go second one. They'll throw it on the first, and that's an inning-ending double play. But the Phillies regain the lead, their second lead of the contest, and we go to the bottom half of inning number 6. The Phillies lead it 7-6. This is APNvideo.com. Well, it's the 6th inning of work for the starting pitcher for the Phillies, Gregory Rodriguez. Bunt, first base side. Rodriguez up, throws, got him. That's an easy first out. If you're scoring at home, 1-3. Gary Nelson will be the batter. We'll give you the answer to our trivia question in the top of the 7th inning. The 3 Atlanta Braves players in '73 that became the first trio of players on a single team to ever hit 40 home runs in a season. Kind of hard to believe that none of the Yankee teams or maybe some of them Brooklyn Dodger teams, that it never had happened until '73. 3 guys with 40 or more home runs. Gary Nelson is 1 for 2. Jeff Lowry with you, bottom of the 6th inning in this winner-take-all national championship game on APN Sports in the MSBL World Series. Nelson has reached on an error. He singled back in the 4th inning. The Wine Country Dragons, as this one is going to be dropped in there into right center field, and Nelson has his second hit and hit number 10 for the Wine Country Dragons. That'll bring up Dale Skinner. Skinner has walked, he has flied to center field. And he hits a high fly ball to left. Means is now in left field, battling that high sky. Nice play. 2 down. That'll bring up Terry Fail. So there's 2 down. And he drives one fair ball down the left field line. Means over to get it. And did a nice job handling the bandbox dimensions down there. The runner at third, and they're on the corner. So Terry Fair with a base hit. They're on the corners. And here's Don Johansson. That is a tough corner to negotiate. He's 0 for 2 at the plate. Rodriguez delivers, ground ball down to third. And they'll go the short route. And the inning is over. Fielder's choice, 5-4. As the Dragons are held scoreless. We go to the top of the 7th inning in this winner-take-all championship game. It's a 60 and over Central Division, and the Phillies lead it by a score of 7-6 as they come to the plate here in the top of the 7th inning. And another inning of Stan Holloway, the outstanding reliever, and the first pitch is swung on and missed. Butlin hits a bouncing ball where the second baseman fields. John Hughes throws on the Carroll, 1 down. Well, we're a little over 2 hours. This was a 9:30 start time. A pair of 5-win, 2-loss teams. Drake, 2 for 2, intentional walk. He doubled and scored in the first inning. Well, remember, the Dragons got 5 runs in the bottom of the first inning, but the Phillies got 1 in the second, 3 in the fourth, 2 more in the fifth to take a 6-5 lead, only to see the Dragons tie it in the bottom of the sixth. And here's a shot out into right field, and Drake's done it again. That ball is over the head of the right fielder, and Paul's going to have his second extra base hit of the ball game. He's 3 for 3. So a long double to right field. Phillies scoring a run in the top of the sixth to take a current 7-6 lead. The batter is Riley, who had a big base hit, and he grounds to the right side. Trouble, but picked up there quickly by Hughes, and he takes care of Riley, who's now 1 for 4. Well, Drake moves to third, and now the tough Dan Gutierrez. Dan has walked. He has bunted a couple runners up, and he takes a fastball outside corner, a perfect pitch, strike 1. Phillies could use a 2-out hit here. And a ground ball base hit, and there it is. 8-6 Phillies. The throw to first is going to be dropped. That's a base hit RBI for Dan Gutierrez, and the lead is now 2. This is the largest lead of the day for the Phillies in this top of the 7th inning. Now Jacobson for the 4th time. He has struck out, hit into a fielder's choice. He's bounced out 1-3. He has also scored a run and played well in left field, except he did make 1 error. An 8-6 lead after the Phillies trailed 5-0 at the end of 1 inning of play. But yet, still anybody's ball game. This one is tapped to the left side, knocked down by the third baseman, and Jake has his first hit. That's the 3rd hit of the inning. They have pounded out 16 hits, 8 runs, the Phillies. And now Wayne Weinberger, who has had 2 RBI, 2-out singles, taking a strike all the way. And this is a fly ball, deep left field, and it's over the head of the left fielder, and Weinberger has done it again. He has had 3 RBI at bats with 2 outs. He plates 2 more, and they've opened it up here in the 7th inning on a long double, a 2-run double to make it 10-6 in favor of Dallas-Fort Worth. Here's a ball slapped to the shortstop. He's up with it. He throws. He got him. And the side is retired. What an inning. A big 3-run spot to go up by 4. Frank Phillips' team looking awfully good here. But still a lot of baseball left in this 60-and-over Central Championship game. This is APNvideo.com in the Men's Senior Baseball League's World Series. Line drive, first pitch, caught. 1 down. Bill Brewer in right field. Nope, it is actually Butlin in right field.
I sure do. I'm spread thin.
So we go to the bottom half of this 7th inning and 2 quick outs as Yamada is retired. And with 2 down, here's the shortstop, Tom Kunst. The Phillies have scored. They have outscored the Dragons over the last 4 frames, 9-1. And a big reason why I think they have gained a lot of confidence because of their starting pitcher, Gregory Rodriguez, who's really settled down here. He's given up just 1 run in 5 2/3 innings. Hasn't necessarily been overpowering. He's only struck out a couple. But he has really settled down after what was a rocky first inning. He has scattered 12 hits in total. And here's a ball to the right side, and Graham got it. He got the convenient hop. He throws him out at first, and we're heading to the 8th. Dallas-Fort Worth leading Sonoma County Dragons by a score of 10-6. This is APNvideo.com. Jeff Lowry back here from the ballpark as we head now to the top of the 8th inning. Stan Holloway, who came in the 5th inning, facing Pete Cesario, who's had a couple of base hits. And both runs, even though he only has 1 RBI, led to a run scored. He'll lead it off. Antone Henley, Angel Almo, the shortstop, to follow. High chopper, third baseman cuts it off, and the throw on to first in time, 1 down. That'll bring up Antone Henley. Antone is 2 for 3, an infield hit his last time up, which helped pave the way to that single run in the 6th inning, which gave the Phillies a 7-6 lead. They have led 2 times. We've had 2 ties in this championship game. And this time, Holloway is going to tag Henley. I think Antone had the bragging rights on the last play. He beat him to the bag, and this time Holloway says, I'm taking care of business. Now Angel swing and a miss. This will retire the side. Good play by the second baseman. Home half of the 8th coming up. Well, the Dallas-Fort Worth Phillies in good shape. Here's a fly ball, left field. Means battling that sun and high sky, and he's got it, 1 down. Outstanding play. He's made 2 good catches out there.
I'll bring up number 47, Mike Wilkes.
The cleanup hitter skies 1 to the shortstop, Almo. 2 down. The Phillies are just 4 outs away from winning a national title. Mark Adams, the catcher, singled in a run back in the 1st. Since then has struck out and grounded pitcher to first. 10-6 Phillies. We're in the bottom of the 8th inning. Here's a fly ball down the left field line. Means gives chase. Good effort, but out of play. Antone Henley strung together a couple of hits. Has played good in center field today. And a chopper to the shortstop. Almost stays down on it. And the throw to first is in time. That is 7 in a row set down by Gregory Rodriguez. And we go to the 9th. 10-6, Dallas, Fort Worth, 3 outs away from a national championship.
Rich Hildebrand.
Rich Hildebrand will lead things off here. Batting for Bobby Graham. Takes the first pitch outside, ball 1. Well, Stan Holloway is going to try to close this one out. Here's a slow ground ball to Tom Kuntz. 1 down. Robert Butlin scheduled to bat, and of course, our good friend coaching first base, as he usually does, Glenn Marshall, who told me he was friends with, if you remember, the old center fielder from the St. Louis Cardinals, Curt Flood, who was, I guess, at the time controversial, but had a lot to do with Major League Baseball players making a hell of a lot of money in these days. And he decided, he was actually like the first free agent. He decided not to play, and he kind of got blackballed. There's a whole long story about it. It's very interesting. And he was an outstanding center fielder. So here's Robert Butlin batting for the 5th time, and he draws a walk. Paul Drake is 3 for 3. He was intentionally walked in the 5th. He has a pair of doubles and 2 runs scored. Saba will courtesy run at first base for Robert Butlin. Paul Drake 3 for 3 with a walk. And he rips one down the line, and, well, Marshall should have had that one. That was a screamer. He had to duck out of the way. Nothing in one. And a ground ball up the middle, and another base hit. He's 4 for 4, Paul Drake. What an incredible championship game. Workman now will courtesy run for Drake, who did not get courtesy run on a couple of those hits. What a day. 4 for 4, and ouch. Riley gets hit by a pitch, and now the bases are loaded. And I think if you're Frank Phillips, you'd like to add another run to the tally. Gutierrez pops it up, infield fly rule, and this one drops in. And now a late break by the runner. Here comes Saba home to the plate, and he's going to be in. Or rather, Robert Butlin scoring. Now the batter is out, and Dan Gutierrez. It'll be a shortstop credited with the putout, but the run scores to make it 11-6. "19 hits in total for Dallas-Fort Worth, and now just 3 outs away from national supremacy. Rick Jacobson, 1 for 4. He has scored twice. We're in the top of the 9th inning. Phillies up by 5. Bouncing ball foul. Gary, Nelson, Skinner, and Fail are the 3 scheduled hitters. There's a swing and a miss. We're going to the bottom of the 9th inning. The Dragons need 5. The Phillies have outscored them since the first inning, 11-1. Stay with us. At the conclusion of this game, we will have our post-game celebration. We'll have the presentation of the championship trophy, and, well, I'll tell you what, if he has a good inning here, Gregory Rodriguez might be the MVP. First pitch, line drive, Antone Henley, 1 down. Fine play out there in center field by Antone Henley on the first pitch, and a line drive off the bat of Nelson. Dale Skinner is the next batter with 1 out and nobody on. And the Dragons trailing 11-6 after leading 5-0 at the end of 1. Pete Cesario has caught this entire game deep in the hole. Olmo, he fields, he throws, he got him. To Gutierrez, who's taken over at first base on a fine defensive play. 2 down. And the Dallas-Fort Worth Phillies just 1 out away from winning the 60-and-over Central Championship. Here's Terry Fair, and he takes a strike. Actually, it is Jesus Renteria pinch hitting for Terry Fair, and he pops it up right side of the infield. Gutierrez calls, he's got it, and in 2018, Dallas-Fort Worth are national champions. The Phillies win the 60-and-over Central behind the complete game performance of Gregory Rodriguez. They pound out 19 hits, and they win it by a final score of 11-6. Let's send it downstairs for the post-game celebration. The Dallas-Fort Worth Phillies and their manager, Frank Phillips, national champions. With me now, Gregory Rodriguez, as the Dallas-Fort Worth Phillies have won another championship here in Phoenix at the 31st Annual MSBL World Series. You know, you guys got in a little hot water there in the first inning. You give up 5 runs, but you were sensational the next 8 innings. It's got to be a great feeling.
Oh, it is. A little bit nervous at the beginning of the game. The guys were maybe as nervous as I was, but after we got our heads down and got into the game, well, we made it work.
What was the key for you on the mound? It seemed like you were a different man, a different pitcher from inning number 1 to inning number 2.
Well, more or less the same kind of pitches. The guys, I had a lot of confidence in the guys. The guys gave me a lot of confidence. They said, just keep pitching the way you pitch. We're going to get the runs back. And that's what they did. They did all the work. I did my part, they did theirs, so that's why we won.
Well, the defense really did step up after that first inning, and they win it by a final score of 11-6, and this is our tournament MVP right here. Congratulations.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, and a pleasure, and thank you all.
All right.
All right.
All right, Wayne Weinberger, the third baseman of the newly crowned champion Dallas-Fort Worth Phillies. Congratulations. It's got to be a great feeling.
Thank you very much. It was a great day. Great day. We had to come back from a long way. Great day.
You know, you talk about, the beautiful ballpark, beautiful weather. You couldn't have asked for a nicer day. You really did it at the plate. You had 4 RBIs, I think over 3 at-bats maybe, and then your play at third base was tremendous. But this really did take a total team effort.
Oh, absolutely. Pitching was great. We had kind of fell off track in the first inning, but came back strong, and Greg pitched a great game. Great game, absolutely. So a lot of great hits in this, and we had to come back from a long way. So, and it is a beautiful day, especially when you win.
Especially when you win, yes. The defense altogether, Almo was tremendous at shortstop. He made all the routine plays. You turned a few double plays. And what's it like playing with a special group like this?
You know, I'm from California. This is a team from Texas. I kind of am the outside guy, but I'll tell you what, it's a great bunch of guys to play with. And, oh, my goodness, Angel at shortstop, you bet. That's a gun. That's an arm. I'd love to have that. I don't know how that man does it at 60.
It's amazing.
It is.
It really is. Okay. Well, congratulations. I thought you could have been the game MVP, but your pitcher was obviously tremendous, and you win it 11-6. You outscore them 11-1 after that rocky first. So congratulations.
Thank you very much.
Okay.
Thank you.
Take care. Well, the first baseman who was truly raking today at the plate, Paul Drake, no relation to the Perry Mason Paul Drake. And I have to admit, I think on past broadcast I said you were 6'7", so thank God you're not, or I'd look even shorter. But you had a great day at the plate, a great game for your team, and congratulations. It's got to be a great feeling to win another one.
Thank you very much. It really is. It's been 5 years since my last one in 13, so it feels real good.
What was going good for you at the plate? I mean, you really hit the ball hard today.
To be honest with you, I wanted to stay within myself, and I wanted to make sure that I was swinging at pitches that I could drive a little bit, and I was fortunate today that I got a couple that I could hit.
I'm going to ask you the same thing I asked Weinberger. This is a special team. They've won multiple championships. You've been a part of it. But what makes this group so special?
Really, everybody knows what their roles are. We pick each other up. As you saw, we were down 5-0 early in the first inning, but we picked ourselves up. We hacked away. It's a real good team over there. So there's a real good chemistry on this team, and it really, you know what, surfaced today. And we kept picking one each other up, and we were lucky enough to win.
Well, they are. They were defending champions in their conference last year. Once again, an 11-6 victory. And Mr. Drake, thank you for your time, and congrats.
Thank you very much.
All righty. With me now, Frank Phillips. Frank, another championship. How many is this now?
This is 11 for me.
Wow, that's incredible. And I know Williams has got to be pushing 20 or more.
Yeah, he's over 20 now, 22.
He's got to be, yeah. How's this one feel? I mean, you got off to a slow start. I know last week with the Zephyrs, that was a tough game, but you come back and you win this one in the 60s. It's got to be an extra good feeling to win after maybe the way you played last week.
Absolutely. The events that happened last week were really tragic, but this made it really feel good because we should have been the number 1 seed. That got taken away from us. We had adversity after adversity, and we just kept coming back. As you can see with the scoreboard, we started out some team that I don't even know. However, we didn't get panicked. We just stayed on it, and it just kept moving one step at a time, picking away. Then once we got the lead, we started playing like we normally know how we can do. So it was very gratifying.
You got to give a lot of credit, I know, to your pitcher, but the defense behind him, I mean, it was shaky in the first inning, and all of a sudden, I mean, every routine play was made. Antone made a couple of nice plays out in center field. Your left fielder battling this, I mean, you could tell, just the people can tell how bright it is, and we're looking right into it. Those were two phenomenal catches in the sun by Means.
Absolutely. The defense today and all week, other than the fact we got nicked up, was very solid. That's basically what I could say. The first inning was out of character, and I'm not real sure what happened. And when I watch the video, we'll have the chance to take a look. But, you started out, the grass was a little wet. If you remember in the first inning, our third baseman fell down. So the grass was wet. We're tight. We're trying to get another championship. So it was challenging, to say the least.
Well, Frank, congratulations. And it was a pleasure bringing it to you.
Thank you.
All righty. We'll have more in just a moment. Pete Cesario and Dan Gutierrez, two of my favorite players. Pete was legendary in that 2014 MSBL. I think it was the 55s for the Zephyrs. And that overtime, I like saying overtime. It's not a baseball term. But, guys, I was so impressed with the way you came back today.
Oh, yeah. We spotted them early, and we just stopped the bleeding first, and then we just chipped away. And once the tide turned, and, the rest is history.
Yeah, I made the adjustment with my pitcher after that first inning. I remembered every batter who got a hit, and he made the adjustment perfect, and he got the MVP, and he deserved it. Yeah. The way he came back and pitched, they only gave up one run in the last 8 innings that he came back in. So, yeah, I'm proud of Greg, and I guess I did okay.
I think you did a great job behind home plate here today. And personally, and when I talked to your pitcher, I said, you were a different person. You were almost a different man in that second inning on than you were in the first inning, and he got command of that fastball, and I thought that was one of the keys.
Yeah, they were rolling over that two-seamer on the outside part, and we started making the plays.
He was hitting his spots. I mean, I made the adjustment, and wherever I put my glove, he put it there, and it worked every time. So we had a good combination going. So, yeah, that won us the game. Definitely the defense. You got to give the defense credit too. We made some great plays out there. So,
and battling this really bright sun, especially in left field for Chris Means, he made 2 good catches. And you play errorless baseball from the second inning to the end of the game. And I think you took the sails right out of their steam, or the steam out of their sails, or however you say that.
Well, that's the way we played this whole the pool games and into the playoffs. So we never gave up. We fought every game. We probably could have went undefeated if we would have really stuck it to the other teams that we gave those errors to, and the 2 games we did lose. So, but yeah, this is a great team. A lot of fun guys, and that's why we come out here every year and play and try and win a ring, and we did it again.
Well, congratulations to you two, and congratulations to the Dallas-Fort Worth Phillies. They are the 2018 MSBL World Champions, 60 and over division. We'll have more in just a moment. See you guys. Thank you. The Dallas-Fort Worth Phillies are national champions. They defeated the Dragons 11-6. This is Jeff Lowry saying so long from Hohokam Park in Mesa.